honor for us to be here and to share Latvian experience. And I am Vaiva, and I am midwife from Doula, and I will give word to our colleague Riga, and to be short, and she will present our presentation.
Hello, my name is Liga Vasara. I'm a doula, but we'll be speaking about that later on as well. But what's happening in Latvia? So basically you have three options. And by the way, there's no interpreter. Here, okay, but how will you be? Okay, thank you. Planned home birth is available all through the country, and we have one freestanding midwifery birth center, and another one will be maybe open within the next year or two.
Tai čia visko matot puikiai skaidriai pasakė, kad Latvijoje yra trys galimybės gimdyti oficialios, ir ta tai tokia, kai vyksta netyčia, kur nors netikėtai neplanuotai.
The greatest majority of births happen in hospitals, and out of a hospital altogether is about 1%, and there are some births that happen totally in different places, in the car, very fast at home, and we cannot exclude that some women might be intentionally giving birth without medical assistance, but their number is probably very low. There was a reform a couple of years ago, and many very small hospitals, maternity units were closed down. And now there's discussion that the minimum number of births you need to have a year is 200. And there are discussions that maybe to get really good quality for the staff working there or for equipment is 500 births. But then you have to consider also the geography. The more hospitals you close down, the more kilometers the women must drive.
Prieš keletą metų buvo uždarytos ligoninės, kuriuose įvykdavo mažiau negu 200 gimdymų. Dabar Latvijoje yra 6 ligoninėse, kuriuose vyksta mažiau negu 500 gimdymų per metus. Tai klausimas yra, ar ten gydytojai turi pakankamos kompetencijos ir patirties ir vis dar tokias galimybės kaip ir didelėse ligoninėse. Bet tada kitas klausimas, kaip su geografija, kai jeigu centrai uždaromi, tai tada ilga kelionė iki centro pagimdyti.
And I wrote down the approximate rates that the hospitals get from the state for birth, and they have admitted that they cannot survive from these numbers, and how they survive is by having a lot of paid services. You want a separate room, pay for it. You want water birth, pay for it. Lots of things that patients actually pay for.
Pats gimdymas yra nemokamas, bet ligoninės vien iš to neišgyventų, todėl yra visos papildomos paslaugos įkainamos, kaip atskira palata, gimdymas vandenyje ir panašiai.
If you want to give birth outside of the hospital, you pay for it completely yourself. But there are discussions about this because the Ombudsman of Latvia ruled that it's actually against the law for the state to pay the hospitals for the birth and not to pay the independent midwives for the services they provide.
Gimdymas ne ligoninėje yra visiškai pačios moters reikalas, viską turi susimokėti.
Generally speaking, of course, due to financial reasons and decreasing population, everything is centralized, more and more centralized. But what women want individual care and they want continual care, so that they will know the person, the midwife, coming in when they give birth. Water births are increasing, births with the fathers are increasing. About doulas, I will tell you a bit more. Doulas work in Latvia already several years, and for those of you who maybe don't know who a doula is, although I do know that you have doulas in Lithuania.
Aš noriu papasakoti daugiau apie doulas, nes Latvijoje tai jau yra kelių metų patirtis, o mes dar Lietuvoje truputėlį bijom, kas tai yra per daiktas.
Doula is a trained person who has received special training to provide psychological, emotional, and practical assistance to the woman in pregnancy, labor, and afterwards.
Dūla tai yra treniruotas žmogus, kuris nusimano šiek tiek gimdymo procese, bet nėra gydytojas ir tiesiog padeda psichologiškai pačiai moteriai.
She knows a lot about birth, but she's not a medic and she does not take any medical decisions.
Dūla nepriima jokių medicininių sprendimų.
And she gives water, she massages, she talks to the woman, a lot of things depending on what that woman really needs in labor.
Ji paduoda vandens, pamasažuoja, šnekasi, tiesiog tokie dalykai, kurie reikalingi pačiai moteriai.
And initially the hospitals were very not scared but not too happy about letting doulas in, because there were many myths about what's happening, that doulas are convincing the mothers to have natural births, that doulas are catching babies at home and not bringing the woman into the hospital, that they will be arguing with the doctors and interfering in their work.
Iš pradžių Latvijoje buvo prisibijoma dūlų, nes buvo galvojama, kad jos čia tokios skatinančios tik tai natūralų gimdymą, jos prieštaraus reikalui esant kažkokios medicinėms intervencijoms.
But after working together, we understood that these things are not really happening and we don't have fear from each other anymore, because what doulas do, they provide continuous support. So the midwife would, her shift would end, she would go home, but doula would stay all through the birth. And what actually happens is doula helps to keep the mother calm and to keep her company. And as we know, the better the mother feels, the better she gives birth. And now midwives understand that doulas actually somehow help in this way in their work.
Dabar suprato, kad dūlos vis tik kažkaip tai padeda, nes mama būna rami, nes tai yra pažįstama moteris ir ne visą laiką šalia, o kušerė pakūmė, pasižiūri padus ir išeina.
And currently, I don't know of any hospitals who wouldn't let a doula work in that hospital. And they also allow a doula in if there's a father present. So there's the mother giving birth, one relative, a father or sister, and a doula.
Ir dabar yra visai normali tokia praktika, kad yra į palatą įleidžiama gimdyvė, kaip priklauso, kažkas iš artimųjų, vyras, sesuo, mama ar draugė ir dūla.
And Dr. Stark already spoke about that, how practices change slowly and tradition is very difficult to change. So the same thing is happening in Latvia. Sometimes we know that there are new findings, that some things are better, but that doesn't mean that we're ready to immediately start doing things the new way. About planned out-of-hospital birth, it was really common before Soviet times and had returned. And for some time it was not illegal, but there were no regulations. So a mother would have her baby at home with a midwife. She would take the notice that the midwife gave her and go to one registering office, and they would register the baby, and another woman would go to the next registering office and they wouldn't register the baby because this paper is not from a hospital.
Namuose gimdančios moteris susidūrė su tokia problema, kol dar nebuvo įteisintas gimdymas namuose, kad išrašytas lapelis negaliojo, nes jis yra ne iš ligoninės, tai vaikai kaip ir neturėdavo dokumento.
And some of the parents solved this by somehow arranging with the hospital that they'll give this paper because they know the midwife and something like that. But some of them said, like, stop it. My baby is born, he now doesn't have a birth certificate, this must end. And what they did, they spoke to the government, they demanded their rights, and a work group was started and regulations were adopted in 2006.
Nuostatai 2006 priimti ir tas gimdymas namuose tapo toksai dėliai aiškesnis, kad jau buvo galima bent jau vaikui dokumentus išrašyti.
So currently there are 5 midwives and 1 gynecologist providing care, home birth care for women. And the rates are, you can see the number it costs per one birth for the parents, and the rates are different because the services are different. Some midwives will just go for the birth and see the mother maybe usually one time after that. Most of the midwives have one visit at home before the birth, then the birth, and 3 visits after that, on the first day, on the third day, and on the 5th to 7th day. And sometimes actually even more if they think that the breastfeeding is not going good or something like that. And when you get in the news headlines like home birth has increased 6 times, it sounds massive. But when you look at the actual numbers, it is 1%.
Per žinias dažnai sakoma, kad Latvijoje gimdymas namuose padidėjo išaugo 6 kartus, bet kai pasižiūrim realius skaičius, tai tas skaičius tikrai nėra didelis ir siekia apie 1%.
And we do expect that it will rise a bit, but we don't think it will go higher than about 2% as it is in UK, in Germany.
Mes tikimės, kad tas skaičius augs, bet nemanom, kad jis perlips 2%, kas yra Didžiojoje Britanijoje, Vokietijoje ir kitose Europos šalyse.
A bit more about what's in these regulations. So the care can be provided by a gynecologist, obstetrician or a midwife working in a healthcare facility, and the only reason for this is that this piece of paper that the parents take to get their birth certificate needs to be issued not by a private person but by an organization.
Planuojant gimdyti ne ligoninėje, Latvija turi nuostatus ir tėvai pasirašo ir sutinka abipusiai ir viskas yra teisiškai reglamentuota.
The regulations state that there must be a written contract, it states a list of supplies and also indications when you should go to the hospital. That's on the screen, so I don't think you can translate it. When people who don't know how it happens, when they think about home birth and midwife coming, they have a picture from really old times or from the movie called The Midwife, that the midwife is coming on a bicycle with one small bag. But in reality, you can see all the things that she has to carry with her, and basically she comes with a big car and 3 big suitcases. And it's basically easier to say what she can't do. She definitely can't do a cesarean section, and she can't give you anesthesia, epidural, something like that.
Kai kalbama apie tai, kad akušerė važiuoja priimti gimdymo namus, daugumai įsivaizduoja tą tokią senovinę iš miškų bobutę su žolelėm arba iš to serialo, kad žino, Call the Midwife su dviračiu važiuojančiu, bet iš tikrųjų ir visiškai kitaip, jos važiuoja su didelė, su daug lagaminų technikos ir gali, matot, kas įeina į tuos lagaminus, tikrai gali suteikti praktiškai tą patį ką ligoninėje, žinoma, ne cezarinį ir ne anesteziją.
How do you become a home birth midwife? You start off with traditional midwifery education, medical school. Then for 3 years you practice, supervised by a certified midwife. Ideally, the law doesn't ask for this, but ideally you would have also a 1-year program specializing on how to work independently. But this is done when there's like a group of midwives who want to do this, then this program is done. So if there's one midwife finishing this traditional school, it's not like you can apply every year for this 1-year program.
Namuose gimdymus priimančios akušerės nėra ruošiamos taip, kaip pas mus dabar. Dažnai tai būna tik viena ruošiama.
Then you usually, as any midwife, after these 3 years of practicing, you have the same certification exams, and then you're a certified midwife, and then you either open a private practice, or you join an existing unit. So could you pass these slips out when the baby is born? As now we've had official planned home birth for 10 years, we can look at the results. You see that more than 1,000 babies have been born, and there have been more births because some are transferred. There have been no maternal deaths. Perinatal mortality is 3 cases, 2 antenatal before the arrival of the midwife, and 1 early neonatal due to undiagnosed heart condition.
Taigi, matot, per tos 10 metų, kai buvo 3 vaikų mirties atvejai, 2, kai nespėjo atvykti akušerė, o 1 dėl širdies ydų.
And there have been 2 studies that we're going to briefly look at. First is on the safety and maternal satisfaction. And it has characteristic of this woman. She's 20 years old, has her first or second child, which was different than in most studies that had like mostly a multiparous. However, I think that in Latvia by now it has also changed, because the women that had their first or second baby at home are now having their third and fourth baby at home. So we have designed a study that's going to start in January next year, and we'll continue monitoring this. And she has higher education, and she's very motivated and prepares actively for her birth.
Čia truputėlį duomenys skiriasi nuo kitų anksčiau mūsų girdėtų tyrimų, bet tai yra todėl, kad pas mus dar Latvijoje tie tyrimai yra nauji, neseniai gimdymų namuose priimti ir dabar jau ruošiamas kitas tyrimas, nes jau tos pačios moteris gimdo ir 3. ir 4. vaiką namuose.
These women are breastfeeding more often and for longer times. You can see the numbers. The number of transfers was 6.3%. For different reasons that you can also see. Of these women, 4 needed cesarean sections, but none of these transfers were really urgent, because they still received several hours of birth stimulation in the hospital. And some of them gave birth after that in the hospital, and some of them had cesareans in the hospital.
Matote, ligoninė buvo pervežta 6,3% moterų, bet tie visi atvejai nebuvo tokie, kad tai būtų reikalinga ekstrinės pagalba, visi reikėsi paskui laimingai.
And you can see the levels of satisfaction and the number of women who would do it again. The other one looked at specifically 100 births of low-risk women at home and 100 births of low-risk women in the hospital, and this is the comparison. There were no differences in general outcomes for the babies, Apgar scores, or differences for the mother, like maternal hemorrhage. And, but there were definitely differences in the rate the birth is augmented.
Kaip matote, tokių labai didelių skirtumų nėra, išskyrus amniotomijas ir epiziotomijas, kurios praktiškai 10 kartų skiriasi. Tarp pečių taip pat yra šiek tiek, bet skatinimas.
Yeah, so amniotomies, episiotomies, and so you have to ask, of course this is a small study, and it's one local level hospital, so you can't draw any general conclusions from this one small thing.
Tačiau čia negalima daryti tokių jau visiškai galutinių išvadų, nes tai yra tik tai mažas tyrimas iš vienos ligoninės.
But you have to ask, why are these women having good results? Well, why are they birthing easier, let's say this way? Okay, why these numbers? And of course the author speculates that home birth midwives have better use of non-invasive techniques like rebozo for repositioning malpositioned baby.
Namuose gimdymus priimančios akušerės turi geresnius įgūdžius, todėl moteris gimdo lengviau, nes tai jos gali pakeisti netaisyklingą padėtį, pavyzdžiui.
I'm going to ask a stupid question. Do you know what the rebozo is?
Klausia, ar žinote, kas yra rebozo? Rebozo metodas.
Yeah. So you take, it's usually a Mexican scarf, but basically I've seen in hospital midwives do it with a sheet, bed sheet.
Tai yra meksikietiškas metodas, kurio metu yra naudojamas ilgas šalikas, bet nėra mačiusi ligoninėje akušerės naudojant tiesiog didelės paklodės tam.
So you shake the baby, will go into a better position instead of being stuck somewhere in the pelvis.
Ir ta paklodė yra apsukama aplink moterį per jos nugarą ir tai yra tiesiog kratoma į šonus, kol vaikas ribojama, kol vaikas stato į taisyklingą padėtį.
And of course they also use different positions and walking and things like that. And it turns out it probably has. Of course also the effect of the fact that it's at home and maybe the mothers are just relaxed.
Ir aišku, namuose dar galima lengviau galbūt pasirinkti padėtį ir galbūt dar vienas dalykas, kodėl tie rezultatai iš namų yra tokie geri, tai kad moteris yra tiesiog labiau atsipalaidavusi.
And are these women different because they are really motivated to give birth themselves?
O galbūt galima kelti klausimą, kad pačios moteris, kurios renkasi naminius gimdymus, tiesiog yra kitokios ir labiau yra įsitraukusios, motyvuotos į gimdymą.
And all of you working in the hospital probably know the situation when a woman comes and says, do something.
Ir visi, kad dirbate ligoninėje, turbūt dažnai pastebite situaciją, kada moteris įeina ir sako, padarykite ką nors.
So you're forced to do interventions because the mother is not really sometimes doing her part.
Ir labai dažnai dėl to akušerė ar gydytojas yra priverstas daryti intervencijas, nes moteris tiesiog nedaro savo dalies, nedalyvauja gimdyme.
So, irregardless if you are for or against planned out-of-hospital birth, or you're somewhere in between.
Nepriklausomai nuo to, ar jūs esate už ar prieš naminius gimdymus, ar kažkur turite, neapsisprendę esate.
What are the benefits for having regulations for planned out-of-hospital birth?
Tačiau tokie yra privalumai tiesiog sutvarkymo įstatyminės bazės ir teisinės bazės gimdymo namuose. Žodžiu, privalumai tokie.
You actually improve the safety, although sometimes you might feel the opposite way.
Iš tikrųjų, sutvarkius teisinę bazę yra naminiai gimdymai padaromi saugesni, net jeigu subjektyvus pojūtis gali būti kitoks.
Because there are always women who will never give birth in a hospital.
Kad visada yra moterų, kurios nesutiks gimdyti ligoninėje.
It doesn't matter what the reasons are, if they had a trauma, it doesn't matter what the reasons.
Nesvarbu, kokios yra to priežastys, galbūt jos patyrė traumą ar kas nors kitam.
So if you don't give them any other option, they will choose birth without any medical assistance.
Ir jeigu jom nebus pasiūlyti jokie kiti variantai, jos pasirinks gimdymą be jokio medicininio įsikišimo ir pagalbos.
And I think we all agree that that's way more dangerous than having a skilled midwife there.
Ir turbūt visi sutiksime, kad tai yra daug labiau pavojinga, negu turėti šalia kvalifikuotą akušerę.
Regulations allow you to set rules for qualification, rules for equipment that this person providing care should have.
Ir sutvarkius įstatyminę bazę galima nustatyti, kokios turi būti akušerio kvalifikacijos, kokią įrangą jis turi turėti gimdymo namuose.
And a good example is USA, where in a lot of places there are no regulations.
Ir labai puikus pavyzdys yra Jungtinėse Amerikos valstijose, kur kai kuriuose valstijose nėra jokių apribojimų, jokių taisyklių.
And they have lay midwives or amateur midwives, they have nurse midwives, and they have professional midwives.
Žodžiu, jie turi daug skirtingų akušerių ir pribuvėjų, tos, kurios yra tiesiog paprotinės pribuvėjos, mokosi viena iš kitos amato, kurios yra baigusios specialų kursą, kurios yra baigusios slaugytojų kursą, žodžiu, skirtingų pasiruošimų.
And the education and the regulations that these different midwives work under are totally different.
Ir, žodžiu, taisyklės, kuriamis turi dirbti tos akušerės pribuvėjos, labai skiriasi pagal skirtingą jų išsilavinimą.
And in most of the countries, if you look at studies for low-risk women, home birth and hospital result-wise are very similar.
Ir jeigu pasižiūrėsime į daugelį užsienyje darytų tyrimų, tai jų išvados yra tokios, kad nėra labai didelio skirtumo tarp ligoninėje ir namie vykstančio prižiūrimo gimdymo.
USA is different.
O Jungtinėse Amerikos valstijose tyrimai rodo, ką kita.
Their home birth perineal statistics are really bad.
Ir jų, naminių gimdymų rezultatai tyrimų yra labai prasti.
But when you look at the type of midwife that was present at the birth,
Bet jeigu pasižiūrėsime, koks buvo pasiruošimas tos akušerės ar pribuvėjas, kuri dalyvavo tame gimdyme,
then the so-called nurse midwives that have gone to medical school again have the same result as the hospital.
tai jeigu paimsime, pavyzdžiui, akušerę, kuri baigė turi oficialią medicinę kvalifikaciją dirbti, tai jos rezultatai priimant gimdymus namuose būtų lygiai tokie patys kaip ligoninėje.
And all the rest of the midwives, although I do believe that some of them are really skilled, but if you look at the statistics, all the traditional midwives that have not gone through medical school, their results are worse. Because if they fear there will be problems, she will think, I just suspect nothing has really gone wrong yet, so wait and see.
Nes jeigu akušerė bijos teisinio persekiojimo, jinai gali delsti perkelti gimdybę į ligoninę ir sakyti, dar palaukime, dar pažiūrėkime, kaip čia bus.
So again, you're making problems worse.
Ir tokiu būdu mes tiesiog giliname šitą problemą.
And also how you are treated when you transfer.
Ir taip pat dar yra tai, kaip su gimdybe yra elgiamasi, kada jinai atvyksta iš naminio gimdymo į ligoninę.
Dr. Stark already spoke about respect and cooperation between different medical professionals.
Gydytojai jau kalba apie bendradarbiavimą ir pagarbą skirtingoms profesijoms.
So irregardless if this home birth midwife doesn't like that hospital or that hospital midwife is against home birth, when they meet with a woman who's potentially in an emergency situation,
tai nepaisant to, kad galbūt tai akušeriai, kuri priiminėja gimdymus namuose, nepatinka ta ligoninė arba tos ligoninės personalui nepatinka ta akušerė, kuri priima gimdymus namuose.
And doctors too, of course, I'm just saying.
Gydytojai taip pat, nesvarbu, aš sakau tik taip akušerės.
They should be able to exchange professional information effectively, fast, so they can help the woman.
Jie turėtų rasti kažkaip bendradarbiavimo būdą, kuomet jie gali efektyviai ir greitai apsikeisti informaciją tam, kad galėtų padėti gimdyti.
And not waste time on discussions, why did you, and all the emotions. There's no place for emotions during the transfer.
Ir tokiu metu, kada vyksta perkelimas iš naminio gimdymo į ligoninę, neturėtų būti vietos diskusijoms jau ar kažkokiams tai emocijoms, nes tam tuo metu yra nevieta.
And it's also, of course, as already, I don't understand Lithuanian, unfortunately, but I'm quite sure the previous speakers spoke a lot about law. So the law says that giving birth at home is one of the private choices that is your human right.
Ir aš dėja nesupratau, ką lietuviškai prieš tai buvusi pranešėja kalbėjo, bet supratau, kad buvo kalbama apie teisę. Ir teisė sako, kad tai yra žmogaus teisė pasirinkti, kur gimdyti.
And by having the regulations, we show that we trust our women enough to make decisions for their health care and for their baby's health care, just like we trust them the moment the baby is born.
Ir sutvarkydami įstatyminę bazę mes parodome, kad mes pasitikime moterimi, kad jinai gali atsakingai priimti sprendimus apie savo sveikatą ir apie savo gimdymą, taip kaip mes pasitikime ją, išleisdami ją iš ligoninės, kad jinai pasirūpins tuo vaikeliu.
That was all so very serious.
Viskas, ką aš čia kalbėjau, labai rimtai čia skamba dabar.
Can we have the next slide? So on a lighter note, not in Lithuanian to probably say, so I'm actually a translator.
Aš tiesą pasakius pati esu vertėja.
But I've become now a doula and a lactation consultant.
Bet patapau doula bei laktacijos specialistė, žinimo konsultacija.
And 90% of the time as a doula I work in hospitals.
Ir 90% laiko kaip dula aš dirbu ligoninėse.
And I have the utmost respect for midwives and doctors doing the best to give good care to women.
Ir jaučiu labai didelę pagarbą akušeriams bei gydytojams, kurie taip puikiai rūpinasi moterimis.
However, for myself, I've given birth at home 2 times.
Tačiau nepaisant to, aš pati 2 kartus gimdžiau namie.
And I'm one of the parents that actively gets involved in making women's and children, actually it's crazy because they always say women and children healthcare as if the man wouldn't be there at all.
Ir aš tapau dalimi tiesiog tvarkant motinos bei vaiko teisės gimdymo srityje ir tai skamba kiek keistai, nes tėtis, vyras irgi tame jo teisės irgi yra.
So I would say that we participate with the health ministry to make our suggestions to help improve generally healthcare for the families.
Ir žodžiu, mes dalyvavome sveikatos ministerijoje diskusijoje, kaip sutvarkyti naminių gimdymų problemą, kaip tai pagerinti, kad šeimos būtų patenkintos.
And as an association, we believe that not every woman should give birth at home.
Ir kaip ta organizacija užtikrinti motiną ar vaiko teisės, mes tikime, kad ne visi turėtų gimdyti namie.
But please have a good system for the ones that do want it.
Bet turime tvarkingą sistemą, kad tie, kurie nori, galėtų tai daryti saugiai.
Yes, and these are my boys and I'm very happy about it. And I'll give the closing word to Daiva.
Ir tai yra mano berniukai, kuriais aš labai didžiuojuosi ir baigiamąjį žodį perleisiu Daivai. Gal galite skaidrę perjungti kitą?
I'm mother of 5 boys and the first 3 born at hospital and last at home. And I am also midwife and I started to assist in home birth because I feel that it's my place to be as a home birth midwife.
Ir aš esu 5 berniukų mama, pirmas iš jų gimė ligoninėje, visi kiti namie. Ir aš pati dirbau kaip akušerė ir siekiu dirbti naminėse gimdymuose, nes manau, kad ten yra vieta.
I am also a doula, and as a doula, as a week, I mainly work at hospital, but I also love this work because compared with midwifery hospital, when you only meet this woman when he comes to hospital as a doula, I know her a long time ago, we meet many times before, and we can work very, very good together, and it's so great feelings when women have a very nice birth experience, and it's so important for women and for a child, and it's so I love my job.
Ir aš taip pat dirbu kaip dula ir didžiąją laiko dalį dirbu ligoninėje ir man tas darbas labai patinka, nes dirbdama ligoninėje kaip dula aš turiu privalumą pažinti moterį, būti su ją viso gimdymo metu ir tai labai pagerina tos moters atsiliepimus paskui apie gimdymo patirtį ir tai suteikia man labai didelį džiaugsmą.
And I am also organizing support groups for expecting mothers when we are exercising together, preparing to birth. And the main thing I want to give to women is this feelings, this confidence that every woman is created to give a natural birth.
Ir aš taip pat vedu paskaitas besiruošiančioms gimdyti mamoms ir ką aš labiausiai noriu jums perdėti, tai kad kiekviena moteris yra sutverta gimdyti natūraliai. Kad jinai gali rasti tą stiprybę tikrai.
So yes, thank you very much, and I hope that all of us, no matter where we work, will have more and more good experiences with birth. Thank you very much.